Sarah, apologies for that. Maybe you can kind of take it away from where you left off.
Absolutely. So we already covered the first 60 days of product management, and now we are sort of diving deep into the last 30 days where there's more of some of the technical stuff.
Yeah.
Um, I think I would like to have uh, us question ourselves as to where should you go in order to reach why in those last 30 days. Now that you've determined the direction that your product is headed in, and you've also determined whether or not that direction is going to lead you to the destination that you want to go at. You should question yourself, what are those next steps, or what is the next path that your product is supposed to be taking in order to reach a certain milestone or a goal. And that milestone or goal can still not be well defined. It can be rough, it can be something that you have in mind, but at least it's going to give more structure to the next steps that you're going to take as a product manager. Let's move on. One of the key milestones that you should be looking at achieving in those last 30 days is understanding the key metrics of how your product is driven, and be more invested in the development process of the product, and how are the features being picked within each sprint, if sprints are the way that you guys manage your work cycles. Let's move ahead. I'd like to go ahead and streamline both of those 2 points, by ensuring that you'd be able to get, uh, I would say, a consolidated version of whatever you've learned in your last 90 days, by ensuring that you're able to fill in the lean canvas model. I think this gives you a very deep understanding of where your product stands in the market today. How are you going to go about identifying certain areas which require more research, and they are also going to initiate some discussions that you want to be able to have with other departments or your manager. So you should start by filling in customer segments. What are the Who are the customers that you're serving? What are the demographics of that customer base? What are their interests and hobbies? Um, uh, are they based out of a certain region? Are you focusing on a certain segment, so on and so forth? And I think these are the points that you should go about to fill in. Next, you should be focusing on the problem that your product is solving for those customers. And here I would prefer that you go about listing the whys you know of your product as to why a customer is going to use them. Why is it the first choice of your customer when they think about solving this particular pain? Why is it that they're going to come back to your product once they've used it, so on and so forth. The next that I want you to be focusing on is the solution. So when you're looking at the problem space, and then chunking it out into separate, I would say, um, outcomes that you want to be able to achieve, that's when you can translate those outcomes into solutions that can be sort of handed over to can be made of part of the backlog and be handed over to the development team as solutions to introduce in the product. Next is key metrics. This is one of those, I would say, aspects that I'm asked about the most, because as aspiring PMs or as junior PMs, we want to be able to understand how much of a role do metrics play and how do we go about identifying them. Metrics are those measurable key identic identicators who help you.
We lost Sarah.
Yeah, it looks like we lost Sarah. Hey, Sarah, welcome back. We just lost you for a sec. So you were talking about key metrics. My
Yes,
favorite, my favorite stuff.
absolutely. So, metrics are basically what measure real value that is being delivered to the customers as a predictor of sustainable growth. And again, something that might everyone have heard of is North Star. North Star metric is basically something that aligns teams to work towards as a same goal for creating and satisfying loyal customers and to make the success of a growth strategy transparent. So you cannot go about within your first 90 days, having all of the answers to how those metrics pan out. But again, you should be able to identify some of the metrics that contribute significantly to how you want your product to be used. The next thing that you should be focusing on is unique value proposition, and I think that's going to be easy to fill in comparatively to other stuff because we've already talked to our customers, we've already tried our product, used it, and now we have a good understanding of how it competes with other products in the market and what is it that our product's unique value proposition is. Then comes a very interesting fact, which is an unfair advantage. Um, Unfair advantage is something that cannot be easily copied, right? So for example, an unfair advantage would be you being the only player in the market. So there are sometimes a business idea rolling out in a region where there is none of existing. So now they have an advantage of being the key player in the market, and there are higher chances that they'd be able to monopolize. Um you you can go about sort of listing those unfair advantages. Next is the 7, 8, and 9, which is a bit more on the deeper side. And I do not recommend going about having concrete answers to what your revenue streams look like, what is the cost structure of your product, what are going to be some of the distribution channels through which, for example, if you are a B2B enterprise product, how do you go about distributing your product to enterprises of various industries? How do you go about ensuring that you formulate those channels in the right regions and in the right domains? So that those are some of the key areas that I think if you have a rough idea after talking to the marketing departments and other liaisoning departments, you can go about filling in. But this is something that you can take a chance at the end when you feel like you have better understanding.
Yeah.
Apart from this, I feel like the conclusion of your 90 days is going to be at the heart of whatever you've learned about the product and the people. So ensure that you focus on these three things initially: product and people. And in the end, you want to be able to look at the processes in more detail and uh, go about introducing some of the stuff that you feel could help the teams to streamline those processes better. And I think in the end, you'd be able to see that how those relationships that you fostered right in the few days of your job in the new organization is really going to give back when you have those genuine suggestions, and you want to be able to introduce some of the new stuff, because change can be really hard to deal with in the end. So I think that's where I want to conclude it.
Awesome. Yeah, I think even just how you framed it, right? People, product, and then process. We often hear people over process. So I think that's this presentation just exemplifies how important that is, right? Just in that order. Um, so Sarah, that was an amazingly educative session on behalf of our product community and the Product Soch team, which is our team. Thank you so much. I'm sure you've got a lot more insights and learnings to share with us. Love to have you on again. Hopefully, we won't have those technical difficulties again. So thank you. Just a couple of quick announcements before we leave. So episode 7 of our Sochcast podcast is now live, where we had Clement Cow giving his take on teaching product management and the role of AI in product. For those who don't know Clement, he's the founder of Product Teacher. That's a product management education company, and he's also written multiple books and essays on the subject. You can find that on the Product Soch YouTube channel or on Spotify and Google Podcast. Links are also available on our LinkedIn Product Soch page. And if you haven't already done so, follow the Product Soch LinkedIn page so you can continue to be notified about upcoming Sochology sessions and have access to other great product management content. Thank you again, Sarrah, and to all of you for joining us. Hope you have a great day. Take care.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.